Slow living isn't about quitting your job. It's not about moving to the cabin in the woods or throwing your phone into a lake. It's about choosing to live your actual everyday life a little bit slower. That's all it is, with more presence, more intention, more breathing room. And so in this episode of Cozy Notes, we're talking about what slow living really is, why we tend to resist it, and how making small shifts in your day can lead to more clarity and creativity and fulfillment. Don't we all want that? Yeah. Of course we do. So if you're new here, I'm Suan and this is Cozy Notes. And yes, I'm recording the podcast in my car. Don't worry, this is the final one I'm recording because I have to pick up my kids in 14 minutes. And hopefully I can get done with this podcast by then. And in Cozy Notes is all about living a more intentional life. And I'm so glad you're here. So grab a cuppa, because I think I keep forgetting to say that. Grab a cuppa and let's dive in. And so today's main topic is about how to create space for what matters through slow living. And it starts with small shifts. So the biggest misconceptions about slow living is that you do nothing, like you don't have goals or ambitions in life. And that can be further from the truth than anything. It's not about doing nothing. It's about doing the right things with more presence. And slow doesn't mean lazy. It doesn't mean you're lazy and unmotivated and unproductive. It's about really being awake in your life and not just going through the motions and not rushing through it. Because we've all been there, rushing through life, going through the motions, and the next thing you know, it's already December and you're like, what the heck? I mean, yeah, like seriously, how is it already April? So why we resist slowing down? So first one is that we fear falling behind our peers, falling behind whatever expectations that we have whatever we think that we should be at this age. Or it's like fear of missing out or just not being enough. I think for a lot of people, it's not being enough. I don't know. You tell me. What's it for you? Why do you resist slowing down? And also stillness can be really uncomfortable for people because stillness means that you really have to be with your thoughts. And for some of us, our thoughts are not good. They're not healthy thoughts. And we probably have some past trauma or some issues that we need to deal with, but we're just avoiding. And so stillness brings all that up. And so that is probably also a big reason why we resist slowing down. So that's why a lot of us are busy all the time, because our busyness is our way of avoiding dealing with those things that we need to deal with. So what happens when we actually slow down? Well, for one, we have more clarity. We can actually hear ourselves think. We're more in tune with our intuition. We also are more creative. We have space in our lives that invites this inspiration, this creativity, and we have more fulfillment because we're more creative and we have more clarity. We know what fulfills us. And so for me, it's spending time with my family, it's traveling, it's reading good books, it's baking and cooking nutritious meals. It's, what else is it? Oh, it's creating art. Like art fulfills me so much. I just love it so much. Art for self-care. Yeah. So podcast episode in the future is all going to be all about self-care, things that you can do for self-care. That's not just, making your face look pretty. And then also when you slow down, life just feels lighter and happier and more joyful when it's not overloaded, when you're not carrying this big load on your shoulders, all this pressure from work and from family, etc. So you're probably thinking, yeah, great, Suan. So now what? Well, I want you to choose one simple ritual to do more intentionally this week. So that could be drinking your tea or your coffee without distraction. Maybe it's journaling for 5 minutes, going for a walk without listening to anything or looking at your phone. Because I see a lot of people do that where like they're walking their dog and looking at their phone and their dog's taking a crap and they just walk away and don't pick up the crap. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Please don't be that person. Or listen to a favorite song and just do nothing else. Because so often we're like listening to music while we're doing something else. But actually listen to it and like listen to the words and feel the music, like really listen to it. And dance if you want to dance, because sometimes you listen to it and it just makes you want to move. So that's okay. But if you're listening to music while you're doing something else, it's just background noise, right? So these micro moments of slowness will build up over time. Doing one thing for 5 minutes this week is not that hard. And then the next week, make it 10 minutes or do something else. And it just adds up after a while. So slow living doesn't mean you have to rush into it because you want your life to be easy all at once, because that never works, right? If you want to live a slow and gentle life, you need to slowly ease into it. So it's not such a shock to the system. And so that you keep to it, because oftentimes we want to go big and go hard, and then we burn out and then don't do the thing that we really wanted to do. And it's better to take small steps towards the path you want to live rather than big steps, because those small steps will get you there. It'll get you there. It adds up. It all adds up. So if this episode resonated with you, because I realize it's super short. So if this sounds like the shift you've been craving, I created the Cozy Life Retreat just for you. And if you're listening to this podcast, it already happened. But hear me out. You can still access it because it's an event that I gift to all my subscribers to Substack, whether you're free or paid. And you can get that link down below at suanclavecca.substack.com. And this 3-day reset is designed to help you step out of survival mode, because most of us are in it, create some white space in your life, and reconnect with what really matters to you. And since you're getting it after the event happened, then you don't have to spread it out over 3 days. You can do it all in one day if you want, but I advise to spread it out in 3 days so that you can have 3 mindful moments in your days. And you can also come back to it as well if you need that reset. And so it includes daily audio sessions, journal prompts, and optional meditations. And I really hope that you join me there. Substack is like my baby. It's where all things happen, all things are shared, and it's a great platform. You can access it through the app if you like, or through a web browser, which is what I prefer because I think it's prettier, because a lot of people with their Substack publications have it's a very pretty website that they built, whereas on the app you don't get to see all that prettiness. And so I hope you join me there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And I promise, next episodes will be longer and they won't be in my car. Okay. My kids, I have 6 minutes to pick up my kids. I'm on a roll here. I'm doing well. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Ciao. Bye.